Breaking right now, a conservative author in the crosshairs of Robert Mueller's Russia investigation firing back with a federal lawsuit tonight. Jerome Corsi is now accusing the special counsel of illegally searching his phone records and leaking grand jury information. And it's not just Mueller. Mr. Corsi is also targeting the Justice Department, the FBI, the NSA, and the CIA, and he's demanding $350 million in damages. Joining me right now, the man behind this lawsuit, Jerome Corsi. My goodness, is there anyone I forgot?
No, you got it, Trish. Thank you.
A lot of agencies you're going after right now, but you're pretty angry. Walk me through it, what you're complaining of here in this complaint regarding illegal and unconstitutional surveillance.
Well, I think first of all, I've been through a vicious experience, and Mueller is still, I think, vindictively now wanting to indict me. I still don't know if they won't indict me on Christmas Day. They could walk in and take me away and into Washington, D.C. and on handcuffs. So this
They're going to indict you for?
Well, I've never committed a crime in my life. The only crime I committed was forgetting. And Mueller, I meet Mueller, and suddenly I'm a criminal. The only crime I could commit is speaking to Mueller. I haven't as much as a parking ticket on my record. It's a horrifying experience, and this lawsuit retaliates.
It does. Let's back up for a moment, just so the viewer has a full sense of what is actually happening here. Basically, the feds are saying that you knew that Podesta's emails were going to get leaked before anyone else did, and they're alleging that somehow you knew this because you had contact with Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, and the Russians?
Right. The whole purpose of the investigation, I think, really an inquisition. I mean, that this was 6 sessions, 40 hours over 2 months of angry prosecutors who got increasingly angry. I never met Julian Assange. I have no contact with him, no intermediary. I figured out in July and August, when I was in Italy with my wife, our 25th wedding anniversary, that Assange had Podesta's emails.
How did you figure that out, Jerome?
Well, I had very excellent intelligence background on the way the Democrats created their computer system. On July 22nd, 2016, when Julian Assange released all of the 40,000 emails on Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I knew they came out of the Democratic National Committee's email server. And Podesta's emails were missing. Well, whoever got into that server had to see Podesta's emails, and I was sure they were taken as well. I was sure those were the ones that were being reserved for an October surprise. And it went hour after. It was Assange, Stone, Assange, Stone, and it was like the most incredible inquisition I've ever seen.
You said to Mueller's team, I figured this out, and you walked them through your logic.
Yes.
To which they said,
we don't want to hear your logic. We don't want to hear your narratives. This was anything I had to say that was contrary to Mueller's preconceived notion. They didn't want to hear. And they made it a horror show for me with this 8-inch thick binder they had that had my name on it. They wouldn't let me see what's in it. There's all the research they had on me. I went in to cooperate. I gave them my computers, my time machine, my cell phone, and instead I find myself in this inquisition that was worthy of the communist Chinese. I felt like an American prisoner in the Korean War.
Yeah. So you're there to cooperate. They say, well, you don't have the answer we want. So
they don't believe you. Dr. Corsi, it's impossible that you figured this out. Jeannie Rhee actually ridiculed me. She said, Dr. Corsi, you're asking us to believe that...
This is one of the attorneys on
one of the special prosecutors, that one of them represented Hillary in her email cases and on her Clinton Foundation. She says, you're asking us to believe that on this trip to Italy with your wife and family for your 25th wedding anniversary, you had divine inspiration. And by a miracle, God told you that, Podesta's emails are what Assange has. So I said, Ms. Rhee, I'll affirm Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, and that's a very serious issue to me. And if you want to ridicule God, go ahead. But I'm telling you that I did deduce this. I connected the dots, and I didn't have any source. Well, that's where the prosecutors blew this up. And they completely decided at this point I was going to be a criminal. So they got it so I was interrogated who said this? What did this person say? What did this person think? And my attorney and I said, my memory, I don't have a memory of my emails. I don't have a memory of the conversations. Mm-hmm. I'm not a human tape recorder. You can't punch a button and get me to record a conversation from 2016.
And so then they got you on those sort of technicalities where your dates
Well, they let me amend my testimony over and over again. And then they finally said, you know, you've lied to us. In fact, coming back the second round, Zelensky, another one of the prosecutors, says to me, Dr. Corsi, when are you going to quit lying to us?
So walk me through this lawsuit. So you're saying, okay, guys, now I'm not taking your plea deal. And by the way, I'm turning around and I'm suing you.
Right. Because they
violated your Fourth Amendment, you said.
Absolutely. They have they have my phone records. They're asking me about phone calls, and they seem to know. They're telling my attorneys they have the contents of the phone calls. Mm-hmm. They won't show them to me. I mean, I think right now this program is under surveillance. You're being the prosecutor's listening tonight to see if I say anything that they can use to concoct some kind of perjury charge on me, because they're vicious dogs and they're after putting me away for the rest of my life. 72 years old, they want to send me away to prison at Christmas time. That's what they're after.
So you say they went after your phone records, but didn't you also provide them a lot of this information too?
But see, I gave them my phone records, which had the numbers that I called. They had the contents of my phone calls. They were asking me questions about the contents, which they seem to know, going back a great deal of time. I'm sure my phone record, my phone's being listened to tonight. My computer's being listened to tonight. This program's being listened to tonight, because the prosecutors are still out there. If I make a tiny little mistake in memory or statement, they intend to pounce on me viciously and put me in prison. This lawsuit fights back. I want to bring them, I want to call them out for leaking. I want to call them out for how much surveillance have I been on. Have I been under surveillance since 2004, when I wrote Unfit for Command with John O'Neill? I want to know how long they've been under, how long I've been under surveillance, and by what agencies. This is a nightmare, Trish.
Yeah, I know you've said it is, and the topic at a Christmas dinner, assuming they don't get you before then.
Not going to be much of a Christmas this year.
Is Grandpa going to jail? That life in prison, right? You told me is what.
Well,
you
a year from me. I'm 72 years old. 1 year in prison could be a life sentence.
Good luck to you, Jerome. Thank you for sharing your story. I know that people can see it online as well. You have an ebook that really walks everybody through all of it, titled
Silent No More. And it will be out in ebook form this week. And I, over the weekend, finished recording the audiobook myself. You'll hear me telling the story of this day-by-day horror story.
Jerome Corsi, thank you.